studio audience of thousands making a whole lot of noise. Western Conference game number 5 officially in the books. It's Oklahoma City, in a lot of ways, putting the hammer down against San Antonio. It is an association is presented by Caesar Sportsbook. Chris Haynes, Rudy Gay, Mike Am with you. This was a very different Oklahoma City team than we saw in game number 4. What do you attribute a real uptick offensively to?
Yeah, I mean, Jerry McCain got hot.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of guys knocking down shots, and they played physical, and they played off of San Antonio's physicality. Instead of falling, they raised their level of play. So you know, it was a really hard-fought game, and San Antonio played well. I mean, down the stretch, they fought, they clawed, but just wasn't enough.
Wemby, simple as that.
Yeah.
When he struggles, they lose. When he plays well, plays dominant, up to his potential, they win. That has been the case, and that has been a trend in this series. Tonight, 20 points, 4 of 15 from the field.
Yeah.
That cannot happen.
You had mentioned this even in the pregame. You mentioned it to us off air. What he does early in games really dictates kind of the flow that we're going to see. The numbers are pretty remarkable. First half numbers, you look at game 1, you look at game number 4. There's an aggressiveness that equaled wins for San Antonio. 2 of 6 at the half. I'm thinking to myself, you're not going to win a whole lot of basketball games with a guy like that's that quiet.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with his teammates. The teammates have to make sure they find him, but he also has to be aggressive as well.
Yeah.
And one thing about him, he needs to hang around the rim a little bit more. I think, you know, the fact that he is a well-rounded player, he can do it all on the court. I think sometimes he settles. Not sometimes, a lot of times. He settles. He settles for his perimeter, you know, his perimeter drive, trying to penetrate. And a lot of times that is just not being successful for him or his teammates. He got a lot of his baskets in the second half around the paint, tip-ins, putbacks. He needs to do a lot more of that. And then he was 0 for 5 from the 3.
Yeah.
He can shoot those threes, that's fine. But if your shot is not going, we need to see a more concerted effort getting to the basket.
There's a cheat code in his game because if those threes aren't falling, he does have the ability to attack. I mean, the size is such a massive and unique advantage that he has. Rudy, if you're his team and if you're on the floor and they're having some of those struggles, what are you saying to Wemby?
Well, what makes him great is the fact he can run the floor so well.
Yeah.
Run the floor. Instead of running to the three-point line, you got to run to the basket. You're 7'5". All you have to do is throw the ball up there. And it sounds easy, but for somebody like him, that's got to be his main goal. Let me start near the rim. Now, a lot of times this game is predicated on whether his three-point shot is dropping. It should be the other way around.
Exactly.
He should be, you know, forcing his will inside the paint. We saw that in the game a couple games ago when he won, when he had like 30.
Yeah.
End of the game, he was near the rim, and he got everything either from the foul line or by the rim, you know. And then sometimes step out there and knock down a 3. But he's so talented, and some days it's hard for a person with that much talent to, you know, pick and choose what you want to do that day. But, you know, I think the immaturity in his game is where he doesn't understand where his bread and butter is.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You said it's easier said than done, but sometimes when you watch him, it looks so darn easy for him, and yet it doesn't play because the last time I checked, Oklahoma City, good squad too.
And Rudy, to your point, the bread and butter for him, the fact that he's 7'5".
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's the bread and butter.
That's,
not that he can do everything and shoot and dribble. No, the fact that you're 7'5".
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah, by the way, we do expect to hear from the head coaches, not to mention some of the players as they hit the podium. You mentioned McCain, who got the start in this game. Efforting him after a Knicks win, we got Josh Hart. We are hoping to hear from Jared McCain. So as soon as he gets mic'd up and ready to go, we will have that conversation with him. Meanwhile, let's show you exactly how it all played out. This becomes OKC. You guys wanted to see it from Chet. You got it here.
Yeah. He's you see a little bit of chippiness, but you know he really asserted his will in this game.
16 points for the big fella. People paying attention to some of the body language. How about that pass? Russo again. Cap it off a 10-1 run.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
I believe that was when SGA was on the bench, I believe as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Thunder trying to pour it on here. Create some momentum. This dude's been lights out.
Caruso.
You can get that from him, man. That's a A++.
3 and D guy.
Yep.
Spurs
Ooh,
down
big body.
Yeah, that was That's a nickname, Big Body.
I thought his nickname was your cousin.
Well,
there's that too. SGA
got to a spot on Wemby right there.
Yeah. Oh.
That doesn't happen often.
Now you see it. No, you don't.
It's poetry right there.
Yeah, it is. You just lay out on that one, just taking the sights. Thunder up 11.
Me and Rudy was talking about that shot. He gave him his shot. That was his spot right there.
He stayed in front of him. He can test it. I mean, you have to shake his hand. He's a really good player.
Kane. Oh, gets it to go.
Man, should hit the weight room.
Guys, he was 1 of 10 in the last game. Usually get worried about that type of performance. Gets rewarded. Starts this game, guys.
Shoot, Mike.
Yeah.
Say something.
You're right.
He doesn't give me a person that lacks confidence.
Oh, no. You check his social media.
That's what I'm saying.
He definitely does not.
Saw the 3 ball from him. Russo.
Got him. Look at it. Look. Watch Wemby after this.
Yeah.
Watch this.
He hates to see Chet score.
Wemby does. I love that about him, man. Oh, I love that competitive nature.
Chris, I was about to ask you to read lips there because it looked like he just.
I don't think I could do that right here. I don't think so.
Maybe we could just interpret.
No, I don't speak French, but yeah.
Then why do they say pardon my French?
Saw the cast of 3.
See? The putback, offensive rebound, putting it up.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bricks from San Antonio, so it should have been a lot more of those for Wemby.
Oh, just go
Again, that guy.
Yeah, that guy is right. 20 points for him. He was 7-19, hit 3 threes, able to accomplish on the floor. He got some help in this one. And joining us here on the association after a massive game number 5 win, Jared McCain is with us right now. Congrats on the victory, my man. I mean, what a turnaround from the last game to this game. First career playoff start. Just take me through this because we perked up when we saw you were in the starting lineup. When did you get some of this news and know that you were going to get out there?
Yeah, Coach had told me yesterday. We were at the facility. He pulled me aside and just told me that he might do it. And then today he said for sure. So, just being ready for any opportunity and was blessed to have it.
Jared, what's going on? This is Rudy, man.
What up?
Coming off of that 1 for 10 performance, where'd you get the confidence? Or have you? We see that you have confidence, but for a young player like yourself, that could really break someone down. So where did you get the confidence for this game today?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always just being in process. Like, no matter what it is, if I go 0 for 10, 1 for 10, 10 for 10, like, as long as my process was good, then I can live with it. I can live with the result. I feel like I didn't play as hard as I could have in the last game, and whether it was missing shots or making shots, I feel like I can always play hard and live with the result. So coming in this game, I just literally wanted to play as hard as I can, offensive end and rebound, and everything else will flow. Everything else comes together.
Did.
Hey, Jared, congratulations on the win. The performance is Chris Haynes here, man.
Thank you.
I've noticed something about this game. Not just this game, but, throughout the course of your career as well. When you get going, it's contagious. You're smiling on the court like you're having fun. And I know for the opposition, they probably don't like that. And so there was a couple of plays down towards the end. Mason Plumlee kind of hit you with a hard, behind the back screen, and you got kind of smashed there by who was that? Bismack at the end. Like, do you feel like you might be attacked? Like, how do you prepare yourself when you're in your latter parts of the game like that?
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't expect it. Obviously, we were at the free throw line too, and I was like, "Why'd you do that, man?" I'm just asking him a question, and he was like, "I got another one for you too." I'm like, "All right, damn, let me to the corner real quick. Let's finish this game out." But it's all in competition, so gotta respect it. But definitely wasn't aware that my team told me after, like, just get to the corner at the end of the game like that.
Jared, what's kind of interesting, too? We spend so much time talking about Wemby and what he does for an opponent, and yet I think about how you guys were able to limit him in this game. In fact, in some of these losses, he just hasn't been necessarily as aggressive. Just take me through the mindset of for you and your teammates to look at a guy that is that unique, that can be that dominant, and making sure that he's not changing the complexion of the series.
Yeah, I mean, he's an awesome player on both sides of the ball, so being able to take care of physical with them, Hart, Chet, J. Will, AC, they all do a great job on them, but, it's a team defense, and we talked about it. We made adjustments to it. We know that when he gets going, like, their whole team gets going in general. So being able to be in the gaps, being able to block him out because he's good at, like, he'll throw it up, and he's 8 feet tall. He'll just go get it himself again. Block out, rebound. It was huge for us tonight.
It's Rudy again, man. So, after last game, you guys responded with this game today. What do you guys need to do to close out in San Antonio?
Yeah, I mean, same things. It's gonna be hectic in there. It's gonna be crazy in there. But this team is already really mature. We just focus on the details, the small things on defensive end. Like when we can hold them to, less than 100 points, like we know we can beat them on the offensive end as well. So being able to focus on the details and be team defense together, no matter if they go on a 10-0 run, doesn't matter. Just be even keel with it.
Jared, keep smiling, man. Congratulations on the win. You're a joy to watch out on the floor, and good luck in game number 6, all right?
And get back in that corner, man. Stay safe.
Yeah, right? There, man. Appreciate y'all.
Protect your neck.
Take care.
Jared McCain, once again in this game, 20 points. I know one of you guys, Rudy, it was you who had asked him about that confidence. You go 1 of 10, and then he's out there going for 27 of 19 from the floor. I think you could point to him, but this is a team in game 4 scored 82 points. That's the worst offensive performance that this team has had in the last 4 years. They drop 127 against this defense. Is it as simple as just saying, hey, dude's just hitting shots?
No. It's definitely the playoffs is a game of styles. You know, they after the loss they changed something up, and what it looked like today, they picked up their physicality again. Also, they were moving faster on offense. The ball was moving more, and people were knocking down shots. And the ball, like we say all the time, the ball gives you energy. You got to move the ball around, and of course, Shea is going to be Shea. You know, at the end of every shot clock or whenever in transition, he's going to find his way to be aggressive. But you know, for the most part, the ball was popping. Jared scoring. Shea scoring, Caruso scoring. Everybody's touching the ball. Everybody's having fun. And it's tough to guard a team when they're playing like that.
Yeah. 32 points for him in this game, 9 assists for SGA. We do expect some of the coaches to hit the podium.
I wasn't sure at the time whether you meant the process or the results, but tonight it felt like you guys sort of recaptured this connectivity. How, I guess, is what I'm curious about, and what changed from tonight to the other night.
I mean, we obviously played a lot better in terms of our process, and then also, the outcome. But, it's I don't know how it's a playoff series, It's, if you look at any playoff series that goes to 6 games at least, there's going to be some tough games. And we had a tough game the other night. This team does a great job of just coming back in the next day in a very neutral way, taking whatever the lessons are, applying them forward, but then getting ourselves into the next opportunity. I thought we did that really well tonight, obviously.
Yeah, Mark, Jared gets the start.
Sorry?
Jared gets the start tonight, and although his shot wasn't falling early, he seemed to give you guys some really good energy. First, is that what you were looking for by giving him the start? And then second, just talk about what it meant to you guys with the energy that he did give you.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I'm not like crazy about who the starters are. It's just the first substitution. We just thought, he could give us some good stuff with that unit, just based on where we are right now with a couple of guys out. And he did. He was really good. His pop early was excellent. And he kept himself in the game, and had that flurry in the third and then the flurry again in the fourth. So great mental toughness. I never take it for granted when somebody steps into a role like that in a game like this, but certainly not surprised. He's got great moxie and confidence, and he showed that tonight.
Mark, Shea just said on the broadcast he thought that might have been the worst start he's had.
What made it so difficult for you guys to get them slowed down tonight, and they scored 120 again?
I think it started with just containing the ball, really. Especially the guys like that aren't SGA, that aren't like natural on-ball creators, not allowing them to get straight line drives or cheap fouls. So I feel like we made ourselves over-rotate.
How would you kind of explain the start or describe the start for you guys, especially that second quarter?
I feel like we started the game off well. I think we created a lot of open shots. Probably could have had a big lead to start off. We just really couldn't make any open shots.
Steph, Mitch was saying that he wants Vic to shoot more, be more aggressive. Can you guys get him involved? And did you see the need for more of that tonight?
I think so. I think they send so many bodies towards him. It's hard at times. I think he just wants to make the right play and wants to win. So it's tough, but he's our best player. So we need him to be aggressive. I feel like that him being aggressive opens up shots for other guys. So.
Steph, you guys have been down by 20 points before games past. When you find yourself in a position like that, how much for a team has to go perfectly right, to come back from a deficit like that? Did you guys feel like, you needed things to fall perfectly in place to come back tonight?
I mean, nobody's gonna be perfect, but I mean, we've seen 20-point comebacks before. There's a lot of time on the clock, just playing it possession by possession, and just trying to make the right reads and take the right shots. But I think it all starts defensively. So I think you hone in on that and you give yourself a chance.
This is the first time in these playoffs you guys are facing elimination in the next game. Sitting here today, what is the mentality? What is the focus going forward to that do-or-die game?
Find a way back here for Game 7. I feel like we've been great when we're desperate all year. So I'm excited to see how we'll respond.
You have the task usually of kind of going one-on-one with SGA defensively, and you guys help out a lot, but you usually initiate on the defense. Can you just talk about, through 5 games now in the series, just doing whatever you can to sort of slow down the 2-time MVP?
I mean, it's tough. I don't think it's just me though. I think it's a group effort. My teammates are always in the shifts, always talking to me. I get read off the ball a lot for obvious reasons. So, having to play off the ball and be in the shifts for my teammates as well I feel like what's been helping us with him.
Stephen, it's going to be Game 6. How difficult is it to find advantages against a team you know so well right now and who knows you so well? How difficult is it at that point of the series?
I don't think it'll be difficult. I feel like we created a lot of advantages today. I just don't think we made shots. So, I mean, try and create the same advantages, stick to our process and continue to trust that. And I mean, that's what's gotten us this far, and I think that's what's going to, carry us back here.
Steph, the exertion in this series, the physicality, how tired are you, and how do you guys continue to create advantages even when you're tired?
I'm fine. Personally, I'm good. But yeah, just, trying to play through it. It's tough. I just think with the way they guard, how physical they are, we don't get that same luxury to be able to play as physical on the other end at times. But offensively, I think we do a good job of screening and playing through it. So I think we create a lot of advantages, but I think we just missed a lot of open shots tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
All right, so Castle and company try to figure things out for game number 6 as the series shifts back to San Antonio as they trail Oklahoma City now 3-2. Winner of it gets to match up with the New York Knicks, who've got some time to wait here after a sweep against the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, Chris, explain to me from a Spurs perspective. Series moves back to San Antonio. They should still feel confident even despite this loss. They've had some success now against this team. What needs to be different for them to get a different result?
Let me go outside of Wemby. We've talked about Wemby. And this pains me to say this and mention this, but a little bit more out of De'Aaron Fox. He's battling. He's battling out there. He's trying to be the floor general, trying to be the floor leader that they acquired him to be. He's just hampered by that injury, so he doesn't have it in him to be his full self. With that being said, he has like tonight, 8 assists, 1 turnover, right? And they really need him for ball handling because Stephen Castle was doing an admirable job at it in the first couple of games, but he is not a traditional point guard.
20
That's why
turnovers.
he had 20 turnovers in 2 games. And so De'Aaron is trying to will himself, but they're going to need some help in that backcourt in the scoring punch. This team, as great as they are offensively challenged, especially with the injuries that they're dealing with. Even Derek Harper, he's not in full self. They're offensively challenged right now. So I think their defense is going to keep them in games, especially Dylan Harper, especially in San Antonio. I said Derek Harper. Yeah. I went back old school.
I know.
Spots. My bad, man.
That's not even the spots.
That's Dallas. That's Dallas, Derek Harper.
It's okay. Sorry, man. You are old.
Hey, man, we had some barbecue. I'm tired. I'm old. But listen, I think at the end of the day, it's going to take for them to get some help in that backcourt on the offensive side to help Wemby. And then, Wemby has to do his job as well.
Yeah, look, we'll talk more about the San Antonio Spurs. Let's shift our attention back to OKC. SGA addressing the media right now.
Harper's bizarre.
Shay, I wanted to ask you about the coordination defensively, extremely loud in there, pressure situation, and it seemed like you guys were on a string so much of the game, specifically in the half court, taking away rolls to the rim and that kind of thing. What went into that?
Yeah, just execution. The most efficient shots are around the rim, and you try to take that away just naturally as a defense. The better job you do of that, the better defense you are. We know that, and we just try to get better than what we were defensively from last game, and we did okay with it.
Shay, Chet was aggressive early on in the first quarter and kind of kept you guys afloat. I know it's been a rough offensive series for him. I was wondering kind of what you thought he gave you guys on that end of the floor tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good. Like, Chet has all the tools, and everybody in our building and the league knows that. He's a hell of a player. Like, as a player, you're gonna go through ups and downs. Like, I don't ever worry about Chet just because I know like how much he loves the game, how much he cares, and how much he works. Like, he'll figure it out, no matter what it looks like. Like, he'll get to it, and I'd bet on Chet 10 times out of 10, and he proved why I would bet on him tonight.
Jenny in the front. Shay, this win tonight felt like a championship response, a team that's won a championship. What did you see out of the guys around you, but what did you hope to bring to this one tonight after the way 4 went down?
I think we just learned from our mistakes. We learned from what we talked about as a group, and we just applied it tonight. I think that is the most important thing. Like, a series, especially against a good team, is like a chess match. Like, you go back and forth with adjustments and game plans and switching to things and trying new things. And I think like they obviously punched us really good in Game 4. And we got better than the team that played Game 4 for Game 5.
Justin and then Barry. Justin.
You mentioned that you trust Chet. You'll bet on him 10 times out of 10. I'd imagine you feel that way about a lot of the guys on this team, the whole group. Just what is it about these guys? Obviously, you've grown alongside them throughout the years. Just what is it about them that gives you the confidence that they can all respond the way they did tonight?
How hard they work, the intentions they have out there on the basketball court, and the type of teammates they are. Like, I know wholeheartedly everyone's intention on the basketball team is to win the game. No other agendas. Nobody cares about anything else besides winning. And everybody works their tail off to get to that and be the best version of themselves doing so. And yeah, like, when that's all you can ask from a teammate. That nothing else you can ask for. Work hard and give it your all to try to go out there and win. We have a group full of guys like that.
Shay, heard you on the broadcast walk-off interview say you felt like that was one of your worst starts. What do you think about the way that the team was able to withstand that, and how you responded once you were able to kind of steady yourself?
Yeah, the team was huge tonight, obviously. Someone just mentioned Chet was big to start the game. Obviously, the bench group came in, gave great minutes. But yeah, those guys, like, I always say, like, we're a team out there. Like, we don't get this far. I don't have this individual success. This team doesn't have this success without all 15 guys in the locker room, and we proved it tonight. Like, if it was 5 me's out there, we would have been down 20 after the first quarter. But the guys were great to start the game. Yeah, I probably should never start like that again and give us a better chance to win a ball game, but the guys held it down.
Yeah, Shay, there's no really counter to Wembanyama, but when you get Chet and Isaiah both playing as well as they did and being as productive as they did, is that as close as a team can get to sort of having an answer for Wembanyama?
I'm not really sure what you're asking, to be honest with you. Yeah, really good. Those guys are really good basketball players. They're our size, our physicality, our rim protection. They're a big reason why we're a really good defense. And then they have tools offensively that get the blender going for us. And when they're at their best, we're at our best.
Chris?
Shay, when you're coming off a blowout loss like that, you're still down a couple of lead guards. You've got a new guy in the starting lineup, young guys. Does your approach change at all, whether it's in film the day before, going into this game, but how you're trying to get to your guys?
I think because we've dealt with these type of injuries all year, I think it was almost like natural and innate for us. Like we didn't have no like extra conversation. It was just next man up, like it's been all year. And I think the reps of having guys in and out the lineup and dealing with all the injuries really has paid off tonight, especially in this series.
You guys have
Shay, as is the nature of the playoffs, I know you're not on Twitter a ton, but your Game 4 against Dallas a couple years ago has sort of resurfaced this week on the timeline. And as I watch that, it feels like the coverages against you over the years have only tightened since, understandably. Do you ever think back about like how much, almost like you're never going to be guarded that way again? Like the coverages are only going to get more complex. Does that ever sort of cross your mind at all? And how do you wrap your head around that?
No, that has never crossed my mind, honestly. Like I'm so I guess wrapped up in what's going on right now that like, I mean, I'm definitely not on Twitter, especially not this time of year, first off. And then I just like dwelling on the past just does me nothing, especially in this moment. Like different opponent, I'm a different player, the team's different. Like so many things are different. Like, of course, it's gonna be a little bit different. But yeah, I just have never thought about it like that. Never.
After a game in LA, right here.
Sorry, Mike.
After a game in LA, you spoke about, McCain's more than just a three-point shooter. He's a full-on scorer. He adds another dimension to you guys as another guy like AJ, yourself, Dub, who can attack a three and then off a closeout, hit up a shot in the mid-range. How impactful is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's what the NBA is about now. Like, it's spread out basketball. Everybody that's on the court has to be able to go make a play. Like, it's very positionless, offensively and defensively. Like, the better you are at guarding multiple positions, the more you play. The better you're doing multiple things on offense, the more you play. It's just how it is. And the more guys you have like that on your team, the usually better you are.
Two more for Shay.
Shay, you're talking about some of the other guys and the depth you have on this team. Mark sort of mentioned that Caruso is one of those guys that's just a chess piece in the middle of everything. When you're on the floor and see, again, the type of series he's having, how would you describe his value to this team, particularly at this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, he has the most championships on this team, first and foremost. So he's played like AC isn't like some uber talented guy. Like he's not some guy that's 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan and shoots lights out. Like, but he's one of the, not if the best competitor in the NBA. Like night in and night out, and he wears that, and he sets that tone for us as a group, and it's come full-fledged this series with guys out and him having to step up. But yeah, he wears that hat for this group all season long, and it's on TV every night now, so the world's getting to see it. But yeah, he's huge for us.
Myron, last one.
You get this late in the series, it's been moves and counter moves. How do you ball this up and take it with you to San Antonio?
There's still things we could have did better tonight. We got to watch those, get better from them, see how they reacted to their losses, and try to put ourselves in the mind frame of them going into the next game. We just got to be ready. Obviously, a really good team and a really tough environment to go out there.
The New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, Game 1, June 3rd. But this series shifts back to San Antonio. I had asked Chris a little earlier, how if you're San Antonio, what are those adjustments? And he said outside of Wemby, you clearly wanted to see some more guard play, Fox more specifically. But what have you picked up on that you think maybe changes their fortunes?
I'm going to just be honest with you. Like, Wemby around the perimeter doesn't help the team at all. I mean, I think what makes it easier for the team is the fact that he's downhill and playing close to the basket. It opens up everything on the perimeter. You know, it closes in the defense. And he needs two people on him when he's down there. So, you know, everybody knows when you're playing at a disadvantage, it's not easy to play defense. So, you know, Wemby has to start inside and kind of creep his way out there when he has it going. But, you know, I know I'm starting to sound like Shaq a little bit, but he needs to dominate in the paint. And, you know, obviously, he's one of the most dominant players in the history of this league. He knows what he's talking about. So if I'm Wemby, I'm taking Shaq's advice, starting inside and then going out.
Can you give me perspective? Because as we're watching this game, Mitch Johnson has been on record talking about the physicality, how teams play Wemby, constantly hitting them. That's on full display in this game. You have to be physical with Wemby. What's it actually like? You're obviously past the postseason. You're in the conference finals. It's a whole lot of basketball, and it's not like Wemby's frame he's not Embiid out there, right? Like that physical sort of specimen. He looks different than everyone. But that wear and tear, what's it actually like for an NBA player?
Well, it's not easy. I mean, when you go through the paint, you know, especially in this portion of the season, you're getting bumped every time. Somebody has their hands on you. People say, you know, basketball is not as physical. Basketball is a very physical sport. There's no pads to be worn. So every elbow, every knee, that hurts. So, like, you know, but with that being said, he's so much faster and so much quicker than, you know, I wouldn't even say people that guard him. I'd say most people on the court. And a lot of times he doesn't understand that what he can do and how he can affect the game is in transition, because there's absolutely no one that can stay in front of him or jump with him when he gets in the air or when he has a head of steam. So that's another way for him to get in the games. But, you know, to be 0 for 5 is tough. 2 for 10, is it?
Tonight?
Yeah.
He was 4 of 15.
Yeah. Okay. 4 of 15. Oh, okay. 4 of 15. 0 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, 0 for 5 from 3.
So 4 of 10. Like, one, you need to be close to the basket. Sure. You need more shots close to the basket to open up everything for everybody else.
There's an edge about him. You actually pointed it out during that highlight. No one likes to get hit, but there's something about it where it almost feels like he's ready to go.
No, he is. No, he's a pit bull.
Yeah.
Like he is centered and geared towards attacking and being aggressive. The thing about it is the physicality part, he just doesn't have it right now. Like, his body is going to have to mature. But aside from all of that, like, I still think there's things that he can do in getting him closer to the basket, like running the floor, you know, transition, like speed, you know, running the floor. Now, with Harden, listen, let's give, you know, Isaiah Hartenstein some praise. Like, he's playing physical. You can say he's pulling and grabbing. That comes with it. The refs can't call everything, right? But
you want to win. That's part of winning.
Yeah, you're gonna do what you do until the refs call it differently. But I still think there are ways that Wemby can get closer to the basket by whether that's transition, whether that's running up full speed, and De'Aaron Fox and those guys just throwing the ball up and having him just go to work that way, right? There has to be better ways. It ain't even a pick and roll game. Use De'Aaron Fox, set a good pick, and have De'Aaron, you know, attack the basket and have Wemby go. And if De'Aaron shoots the shot, Wemby hopefully can get the offensive rebound, put it back up. But they got to do things like that. I just don't like. Not to say that he can't do it. And it's not. I'm not like just getting on Wemby for the sake of doing it. I'm just not a fan of him just standing out on the perimeter and trying to create, because the defense is going to collapse on him. He dribbles so high because of how tall he is. It's easy for these little guards to come in, swipe the ball away, and he's shooting up shots that aren't quality looks. So I just think they have to go back to the drawing board and really just do the things that they do when they do win games. That's it.
Game 4, there was a sense of desperation from this basketball team. You could feel it out on the floor. They're going to need that sense of urgency clearly in game number 6, a potential elimination game that shifts back to San Antonio.
It just felt like it was a little bit of everything in terms of we did not put ourselves in position enough to be successful on each possession. And so to beat a team of this caliber in their building with what's the stakes will need to be a lot better to give yourself a chance.
Mitch, how would you describe kind of the start your team had, and particularly the second quarter when you gave up 40?
Yeah, just again, there were a lot of things that we were just in wrong positions or wrong coverages or poor decisions, which I'll have to go back and look at the film. Just felt like in the moment we'd been making consistently in a straightforward manner. And again, on a game like tonight, you give yourself no chance if that's the level that you're going to play to consistently for the 48 minutes.
And just out of curiosity, the officials give you any kind of explanation for why you weren't able to get that challenge in that you were looking for?
They just said they didn't see me.
Mitch, how did you think Victor played, and can you do more to get him going?
We're going to need to. He's got to take more than 15 shots, even with the free throws, and yeah, he's going to have to score more than 20 points for sure. And
So is that his aggression or game plan or a combination of both?
yeah, combination of both for sure. OKC did a good job. We got to do a better job, and that's probably the easiest in terms of when you just surface level stuff. That he'll definitely need to take more shots. But there's a lot of things all over the place where even we had advantages and we just didn't make simple plays that take advantage of the opportunity in that possession. And in this type of game, you got to be sure of everything you're doing in a very secure, mature way.
Coach, you often talk about not wanting to sacrifice the intensity of a stint. You'd rather sacrifice the length of it. At this point in the season, when you want to have your best guys out there at all times, are you looking at ways to sort of create advantages or scheme for the exhaustion at all, or is that something you're not looking at?
There's probably moments where you feel like the game can be in the balance or really crucial part of the game, I guess. Whether you're making a run or the other team's making a run. And sometimes that can supersede the typical rotation or what you're trying to do. But, there's an understanding that if we want these guys to play a certain way, they have to be able to have energy to do it. And so sometimes you just got to make a gut call on that in terms of, what that means in the moment and playing certain guys and then what the return on that could be.
Coach, OKC and Shea were able to generate many free throws compared to Game 4. What was the reason for you? Do you think it was the poor decisions you were talking about in terms of discipline and defense?
Yeah, in the second quarter there for sure we had some times where fouls or not, we need to be more aware of when we're in the bonus. And so, they got some free throws where they weren't in an advantage at that moment, or we weren't in a bad spot or out of position. And so you just got to understand, especially if you're on the perimeter and there's a lot of space around the overly physical stuff. If you give the ref the opportunity to call it, and now someone gets free throws and didn't really have to work to get to that or get us in a spot where we were at a disadvantage, that's where numbers can get big for giving up points in a quarter.
Thank you. You can hear some of the disappointment from Coach Johnson. I think he hit the nail on the head. Going to have a bigger performance from Wemby. That's the photo of the night. Yeah. Credit Joe Murphy. By the way, McCain joining us a little bit earlier. He was terrific, man. Dude smiling ear to ear. Great game for him, and nice response after going 1 for 10 in game number 4. You had mentioned something off air to us, which I thought was pretty interesting, just in terms of managing minutes and from a San Antonio perspective. But take me through that.
Yeah, no, I just wonder, the San Antonio Spurs, they manage their players' minutes like no other team in the league. They played one of the fewest minutes on the average, more than less than anybody. So I wonder when the playoffs come around, your starters typically going to play upwards to 40 minutes a game, probably even more. I wonder, conditioning-wise, are the San Antonio Spurs players ready for that increase of minutes just like that in the playoffs? I don't know, just something that came in my head.
Yeah. I mean, that possibly could be it. They could be tired, but I just thought they would come out a little more, with a little bit more oomph. Come out with a chance to go up in this series, which they haven't done yet. That's not something, and it might be their maturity too, who knows, but like you said, that could be a good point, but, this is a team that needed this game, and I just thought they would came out a little stronger.
Yeah. Before the series started, we all kind of felt, for months, we felt like, hey, this thing could go 7 games. Does it go 7 games?
It still can. I think it still can, possibly. Playing in San Antonio is going to be tough for OKC to come out there and get a win. It's going to be tough for them.
Listen, Wemby's going to play better. The role players are going to play better at home. Do or die situation. I think the Spurs have the ultimate confidence that they can extend this series to a Game 7. Now, if it gets to a Game 7, you know, anything, it's all up in the air from there. But no, San Antonio Spurs, they're here for a reason. I expect them to compete.
Yeah, it feels like home court is at least going to be meaningful over potentially these next two games, because it was in this game. Like, you could feel it through the television as you're watching OKC fans just go bonkers, and that's going to be the case in San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, for Wemby to be the player he wants to be and says he wants to be, he has to show up in games like this. So I'm looking for him to have a big game.
Yeah. Outside of Wemby, is there another guy that you would
I mean, other guys, Sale, you know, I thought he was going to have a big game today. It ended up being, you know, Julian, but, you know, it's going to